Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. So it has been a bit of a minute since I made a video, and there are a few reasons for that. One, I cannot decide what format I like for this channel. I feel like I admire a lot of different YouTubers. All of these YouTubers that have really perfected their structure, and I haven't been able to figure out something that feels natural for me. The other reason is that I don't have any time in the day. And I started to realize that I was swapping out eating with making videos. Without triggering anybody, I have always had a bit of a fraught relationship with food. Lots of years of disordered eating and body dysmorphia. And I realized how comforting it was to watch other people eat when I didn't feel like eating. I don't know if this was just on my For You page or other people's, but there's this trend on TikTok where people would be like, eat with me, and it would help inspire people to eat that didn't feel like eating. So for all of those reasons, I wanted to introduce Amelia Time. That it's a working title, like a play on my name, like Amelia, Emil. Yeah. It's fun, right? And every single week that we have Amelia Time, I am going to rant. So it's just like you and I are sitting at lunch together. I'm eating Annie Chun's pho, the microwave stuff. It tastes nothing like pho, but it's very good. This week, I wanted to talk about this website that I stumbled upon. It is called IGotStandardsBro.com. Surprisingly, the name of this website is the least annoying part of the website. So that's shocking. What this website is a female delusion calculator. Before I go any further in this, I would like to say I recognize that there is a good chance that this is a joke. It reads as satire, but then at the same time, there's a good chance that it isn't satire, which is the scariest piece. This website takes census data from the United States, which is notoriously inaccurate, as well as health data from some fucking place to get BMI information on men in the United States. And then you fill out this survey on this website based on your preferences, and it tells you how delusional you are based on the percentage of men in the US that fit that description. If I were to talk about all of the issues with this website, the video would be an hour long, and I'm gonna run out of food before then. But here are some highlights. The selections are not inclusive at all. The options that you have for race are white, black, Asian, or any color or shade. And then the creator of this goes into the details in the about why they decided to do it this way. Something about simplifying the results, whatever. This whole thing is an oversimplification. The other issue is that everybody has preferences. That's not the same thing as strict requirements. But whoever created this website, which is very clearly feeding into incel culture, has taken it upon themselves to say that women that date men that have any sort of preferences are delusional. After you get your delusion score, they tell you how many bags of it's either cat food or cat litter you are, to be like, oh, so you're a crazy cat lady. It's not a tie, it's just so fucking stupid. The whole thing is so fucking stupid. If your delusion score is nothing at all, it says, are you even a woman? As if men don't have standards. And then if you get 5 bags of cat food, it tells you that you don't deserve to be on this planet or something fucking stupid like that. If you get 1 bag of cat food, you're easy to please. So for those of you keeping score at home, you're either easy or not worthy of being alive. So anyway, let's dive in. I would also like to point out there's no male delusion calculator, but I mean, based on my calculations alone, with the fact that this calculator exists, I'm gonna say men's delusion is never been higher. Okay, I'm gonna screen record it on my phone, and then I'll probably put it right here. At the jump, I have no complaints about their design. I mean, they picked pretty clip art. for their stupid fucking website. Okay, I'm going to fill this out how I personally would fill this out, and then we'll go through and see like different scenarios. So I am going to say age, somebody a year younger than me up until 34, maybe 35. I'm not trying to date married men. Any color or shade for race, I fucking hate that. Minimum height. So I'm 5'7". You know what? I've dated shorter guys. Let's say 5'8". Minimum income. See, this is tough because it's not a requirement, it's just a preference, which really skews the data on this fucking calculator. I'm gonna go by preference. I'm gonna say 80K minimum. I live in Seattle. It is not cheap to live here. It's just a preference. And it's okay to have preferences if you're not a dick about it. I have a 5.3% probability of finding somebody that meets my standards. I'm an aspiring cat lady. It's not wrong. Sounds like a pretty peaceful life. My cat's never made a calculator before. So 5%, I want to do a little exercise just to demonstrate. So I am going to go on to Hinge, go through 10 profiles, and see how many of those profiles meet my standards. Because based on this, in 10 profiles, I should only find half of a profile. Let's see what happens. Let's go on Hinge. All right, we got Sean here. He is a race, that's for sure. He is above my height requirement of 5'8". He is the age that I am looking to date, and he's in electrical engineering. Let's look up electrical engineer salaries, Seattle. Wow, what a range. The average salary is 90.5K per year in Seattle, so that meets my salary standards. Already, this fucking calculator is wrong, but for good measure, I am going to go ahead and move on to the next gentleman. Logan is a race, already off to a good start. Above my height requirement, the age range that I'm looking for, and he's a tech consultant. Let's see what tech consultant salary Seattle is. The average is 103.7. So far, I'm not feeling 5% delusional, because that right there, we're 2 for 2. And I'm no good at math, but that is 100%. And say that we go through 8 more profiles and nobody else fits my standards, that's still 20, not 5%. Do you see what I mean? So femcells exist as well. We talk about it this week on the podcast that I co-host, The Holy Hour. Just a little plug. So, like, incel culture is not limited to men, but people that aren't able to get dates with people love blaming other people for their own shortcomings. And there's a difference between people that just aren't able to get dates and people that are angry about not being able to get dates. The latter is the issue. So, like, to go through the trouble of creating a calculator to demonstrate that, like, it's actually women's preferences that are the issue and not the people that they're trying to date. Like, maybe in some cases that is the case. Maybe there are some very, very picky women. But how this is calculating delusion score is assuming that that is only what these people will date. It's not taking looks into account. It's not taking personality into account. All of these things that people take into account when they're dating. The majority of people are not judging people based on just these things. So let's go through this being very picky so you can see what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to say 29 to 34. That's it. You can only have a 5-year age range. I'm going to exclude married men because we're trying to be picky. Just Asian, 6 feet, that make 135K. So this is what I mean. 5 out of 5 means you don't belong on this planet. And then if you go through and do wide ranges of everything, it asks, are you sure you're a woman? Men have standards too. What the fuck kind of fucking... This is delusional. I'm gonna make a delusion calculator for the delusion calculator. When I'm picking food for this series, I need to be sure that I don't pick anything crunchy because I don't know about y'all, but I hate the sound of people chewing. I know that there's like a really big mukbang culture on YouTube. They're fun to watch, but I just can't. I can't stand the sound of chewing. It's just one of those things. So here's the thing about all of this. It is so okay to have preferences. Whenever I post any videos about dating apps, people are like, well, like, everybody has a type. That's 100% the case. The issue is, A, just don't swipe right on people that aren't that type, and B, you don't need to be a dick about it. That's any gender that's dating any gender. Just don't be a dick about your preferences. Everybody has them. And a lot of the time, the groups of people that people are hating on their dating apps are already getting enough of that from, I don't know, all of society. The amount of shit that I see of men being like, nobody over 140 pounds. You don't know what 140 pounds looks like, first of all, Chad. Second of all, you don't need to match with people that don't fit this mold that you have. That's the great thing about dating apps. You don't need to talk to people that you don't want to talk to. What's the point of being an asshole about it? Hello? And again, this goes for every gender. People that make fun of shorter gentlemen, not cool. That is also body shaming. And I know we're always getting hate from like every direction, so like making fun of short guys like doesn't feel like a big deal. It is. Let's like not do that. If it's that important to you, pay for the premium version of the dating apps and just filter out people that don't fit your height requirements. Easy. Please remember to like and subscribe. Let me know what you want me to talk about next Amelia time. That name is so stupid. Let me know if you like this format. I love it. And I'll see you next week. As always, don't be an asshole. And I love you. Click one of these videos.